Okay. Good evening to our Taiwanese participants. Welcome to today's joint online seminar of DAAD Information Center Taipei and Fulda University of Applied Sciences, who is going to introduce us to their applied computer sciences courses and programs. Welcome also to Marco Krinowski. He's working in the international office of Fulda University of Applied Sciences. And also welcome to Professor Dr. Fischer, who is teaching at the Applied Computer Sciences Department. Hello to our guests, to our hosts in Germany. And of course, welcome to our Taiwanese students who are interested in the programs of Fulda University of Applied Sciences.
This brilliant introduction, hardly anything to add there. We can actually go to questions and answers right away. So thank you for having us. And regards to Taiwan, good afternoon from Germany, good evening in Taiwan. So you guys are already 6 hours in the future. I'd like to introduce Professor Christian Fischer to you, who has I'm very glad to say so, who has agreed to join me today to help me out there, telling you guys a little bit more about our Department of Applied Computer Sciences. My name is Marco Krinowski. I work in the international office, and I'd like to start off with a more general and brief introduction about the university, just to let you know where we're located, what we offer, and then in a few moments we will take a closer look at the Department of Applied Computer Sciences. And in the end, we also have some time for question and answers. So please bear with us if there's anything missing in the presentation. If you have a very personal inquiry, of course, we'll do our best to answer that. So far, I don't see a slide yet. I just see a little loading symbol, which gives me the opportunity to just continue talking. Employment was a very good keyword. Maybe I can already pick that up. We're talking about applied computer sciences, applied computer sciences in an economic strong area here. Fulda is just outside Frankfurt am Main, which itself is in the center of the Frankfurt-Rhein-Main area, one of the strongest economic regions here in Germany, with 2.3 million people employed and responsible for roughly 8% of Germany's GDP. The sectors you find in this Frankfurt-Rhein-Main area are normally banking, finance, investment due to the European Central Bank and the Frankfurt Stock Exchange. Post-Brexit, also some investment and finance jobs have been moved from the city of London to Frankfurt. Also Paris, Amsterdam, Dublin, but also Frankfurt. But also the computer sector, the logistics, aviation, automobile industry, chemical industry, construction, all that can be found in and around Frankfurt. And Fulda is only 90 minutes outside talking about our beautiful environment, the region. So apart from the city life, you can of course leave town and explore the Rhön, the land of open distances, and other lower mountain ranges to hike, bike, climb, canoe, horseback ride, alpaca walk, paraglide, whatever there is, ski in winter. I brought some pictures from the city also. Here, so you get an idea. The university itself is just a little older than I am, founded in 1974. Today we have 8 different academic departments with 60 study programs. And yes, normally if you ask people, so thanks again for this brilliant introduction. Normally if you ask people like what's the major difference between a university and a University of Applied Sciences, you could hear 2 answers. One answer usually is universities of applied sciences fill a certain niche when it comes to the subjects that can be studied. Universities of applied sciences sometimes have a more business entrepreneurship, management orientation. Others have a social sciences, social work orientation, health studies. And the second major difference is you cannot obtain your PhD at the University of Applied Sciences. And that was true for Germany until 2018. Back in the day, Fulda University proved to be so strong in their research and education that they had to change higher education acts and laws and made Fulda University the first university of applied sciences to award doctorate degrees and to join prestigious organizations such as the European University Association, the EUA, and the Council of Doctoral Education, the CDE, with other members just being regular universities. FYI, semester dates differ between other countries in Germany, so we brought along the semester dates. Currently, we are in the summer semester that started on April 1st, and it'll run until the end of September. The lecture period started in mid-April, so Professor Fischer took time off lecturing or took a break or uses his pause to actually join us today and talk in a few moments about computer sciences. And we are a campus university with all buildings located on one spot, so you constantly bump into your fellow students, into your lecturers, into other staff. You can enjoy time in between classes in the library, in green areas. We have a cafeteria that caters for all dietary preferences, so be it whether you need vegan, vegetarian options, halal options, gluten-free, lactose-free options. Everything can be found there, and I mentioned it already, we have 8 departments, and on top, as it should be, applied computer sciences, and the others. I brought an overview of study programs. It's a little bit small, I can imagine, but at the end of this presentation, you will be able to download our slides as a PDF, and then everything that's highlighted here blue is a link, and you can click on it, and you'll get to our study program database, where you can filter according to masters, bachelors, language of instruction, intakes, and study formats. So maybe on the long run, it's going to be a little bit easier for you once you've downloaded it. Another thing I love showing when we talk about differences of University of Applied Sciences to universities, or what does it actually entail to study at the University of Applied Sciences, is what you can see in the pictures. When I was a student, I've got a humanities background, cultural studies and intercultural communication. I hardly had a hands-on approach. I would sit in class in a lecture, and the professor, she would go through 80-odd slides. I did intercultural management also, so we'd be talking about management theories, and the professor, she would introduce new concepts and compare it to what we've tackled so far. And everything I had to do was read another 100 pages until the next week and go over her slides to prepare for an exam in the end. At the University of Applied Sciences, that's also the case. You have lectures and you cover certain topics and content, but then you also go to what we call workshops or labs, skills labs, or simulations, if you want, where you are being familiarized with the actual future work environment. You might be facing with the actual tools you will have to work with processes and standards. So since we'll be talking about computer sciences a little bit later, I can point out food technology, for instance. So you are not learning only the theory behind turning milk into mozzarella. No, you also put on a fancy head cover and you turn actual milk from our region into mozzarella. Unfortunately, university stuff is not allowed to sample. Only the students are in the position to sample their own mozzarella for pizza night. You have labs, microbiology labs. You have the electrical engineers who actually work on engines and little carts and work with solar panels. And so there's always this underlying hands-on approach. And it's true when it comes to employability later on upon graduation that the chances for employability are much higher. But already as a student, if you're looking for student jobs, if you're looking for internships, not only your teaching staff are practitioners and they can point you into directions of maybe where to put a focus, where to write your thesis, but we all know this crucial question when it comes to applying for an internship or a job. It's this, do you have experience? And universities of applied sciences students can always say, yes, I do know my work environment, I do know my stuff, and I am trained in the work environment. And that actually brings advantages when competing with other people for the very same student job or internship position. We have some international study programs. There's health sciences and international business and management. And there's science and engineering. You can see LT, that stands for Lebensmitteltechnologie, food technology, but it also contains computer sciences. It's a 8-semester program taught in 2 languages, English and German. And after a first year of general engineering sciences, such as physics for engineers and math for engineers and statistics for engineers, you can also choose an orientation amongst food technology, electrical engineering, or computer sciences. So for those of you who want to get a broader approach and then end up in computer sciences, eventually you can also choose that to access the computer sciences world, or one of the programs we will be introducing in a few moments. On master's level, we have different programs, international study programs, such as global software development, which we'll be dealing with in a few moments, but also food business, human rights, intercultural communication, and management studies. In case you do not meet any requirements yet for any study program, be it language-wise or grade-wise or subject-wise, we have different preparatory programs for international students. We also have a career service that helps you to find internships or maybe put you in contact with a company to write your thesis. We also have departmental placement coordinators in each department to help you find internships. And we've got a European placement coordinator if you choose to have an internship in another country than Germany, European country than Germany, also funded by the Erasmus system. You do not have to spend your entire studies in Fulda. You can also study a semester abroad at one of our European and overseas partner universities. And being attractive, having so many offers for international students, we are a very international university. Out of our almost 10,000 students, about 14% are not from Germany, but from 111 different countries. You can see that some departments are a little bit more international than others. For instance, computer science. That has something to do also with the quality of education and the study programs. And you can see the top 10 of countries that are sending us students and the regions they come from. And I looked it up earlier today. Currently we have 5 Taiwanese students, but maybe after today it's going to be a few more. The good news is, yes, we have about 400 higher education institutions in Germany and almost 21,000 study programs, but out of these 20,800 study programs, only 1,700 are taught in English. Only 1,400 of those are master's programs, and many of the English taught master's programs are tuition bearing, even at state universities. But the master's program we are about to show you has no tuition. So there are no tuition fees at Fulda University of Applied Sciences. We only charge a so-called semester contribution that covers an administrative fee, a fee for the local student community, and your semester ticket, which is the bus rail pass for public transportation in and around Fulda and the entire state of Hesse. Students usually have to pay your health insurance, that's mandatory to take out as a student in Germany. You have to pay rent, and all that adds up to a cost of living of roughly 750, 800 euro in a month. Keep in mind that in order to obtain a visa for Germany, you have to show sufficient funding of currently 864 euro in a month. So you could say that Fulda is a little bit cheaper than what you need to show for the visa, but we are average, I would say. Having no tuition fees in Germany, the scholarship landscape looks different compared to Australia or the States. There are not many scholarships. You can check out the DAAD scholarship database on our own website. I can mention the Deutschlandstipendium, but I have to say, be realistic, don't get your hopes too high. Since tuition is already free, let's say, paid by the German taxpayer, universities are not in the position to additionally pay out scholarships to cover your expenses. Again, I recommend to download our presentation at the end of this presentation, so you can click on these links to find out more details about dorms and housing opportunities. Whatever you prefer, there are different availabilities in Fulda, and if you happen to have energy and time after class, you can always join the university sports organization and do yoga, wheelchair rugby, football, volleyball, cricket, you name it. And if you're not as sporty, you can join the university big band and choir, or the sustainability club and the amnesty branch, or religious community. So whatever you feel like doing after class, there are plenty of opportunities. You can also go into the region to hike, bike, paraglide, climb, canoe. You can rent alpacas and take a walk with alpacas. You can longboard down our mountains or ski in winter. And if that's not enough, you have a semester ticket, you hop on a train and you go to the Eder Stausee to go sailing or water skiing, or you hop on a train and go to Frankfurt and do whatever you do in a big city. So to sum it up, why many students decide to come to Fulda and why maybe you also feel intrigued is our wide range of options. This applied approach in learning, we've got dual study programs on bachelor level where you combine vocational trainings and bachelor's degrees. We have, being so young, we have state-of-the-art equipment and the latest technology. Wherever you are, we can pick you up, be it for a preparatory program, bachelor's, master's, a PhD. You've got already a thriving international community, so you would add enormously to that, but you'd never be alone once you come here. We've got short distances. You can drop into our offices if you have questions. It's easy to make friends having one location in a smaller city. And then support structures with, I don't know, academic writing, language learning, family planning, scholarships, intercultural trainings. There are different support structures. And if you are intrigued to study in Germany, if that's a dream, because you do like the German quality of life or culture, Fulda is a great place to have that. In the center of Germany, you have access to all the other parts, plus the recreational amenities around it. So if that's something for you, if you think, yes, I am intrigued, I'd like to know more, you can always check out our website, you can send an email. If that's regarding the application admission process, you can reach out to our student administration. If you have a question about other topics, you can reach out to me. And now the time has finally come to hear more about our Department of Applied Computer Science. So please welcome Professor Dr. Christian Fischer and to tell us more about global software development and the department. Thank you.
Thanks, Marco. Yes. Hi there. So I'm going to talk about a little bit about our Master Global Software Development.
Ich kann dich noch nicht hören.
Du hörst mich nicht? Hallo, hallo?
Hast du dein Mikro oben entmutet?
Ja, ist an. Das Mikro...
Wir hier haben...
Mich hören Sie? Mich hören Sie, super. Alright.
Ja.
Hear you. I'm sorry. I don't know whether I'm the only one.
Sieht so aus, weil, ja. Okay, gut. So, Global Software Development. is a master program here in our school.
Okay, maybe it's just me. I'm sorry for the interruption.
No problem. So we have several study programs, of course, in our university, in our department, which is a Bachelor in Applied Computer Science. We have digital media, we have e-health, we have business IT, and a Master in Applied Computer Science. But the most, I guess, interesting for you is this Master in Global Software Development, because this is an entirely English program with a lot of international students from all around the world. And yeah, as Marco already mentioned, Fulda is a nice place. I mean, all the benefits that he just explained were exactly the reasons why I came to this university and why I became a professor here. But let's go to applied computers, to the Master Global Software Development. Well, basically, this is a very modern software development program with, as Marco mentioned before, with a strong relevance to the industry. So many of our students here are working parallel in some companies. They're doing internships and they're getting a lot of practical skills regarding computer science and the development of software. So this program seeks to prepare graduates for a career as a software developer on an international level, who are able to realize complex software systems, usually in the big companies like in Frankfurt, that are in an international team. So there are several possibilities how you can start there your study program here. You can use a degree in computer science, or one second, like this. Okay, yeah. There are, sorry, here now here there are a few numbers about our department currently, and our programs that I mentioned before. So the degree is a Master of Science of Global Software Development, and to start, we take students in October and in summer, so all year long, and you need to have a degree in computer science with 180 or 210 credit points, and at least a final grade which is good. If you have only 180 ECTS, you can have some preparation courses at our university. So basically, it doesn't matter where you're from and what kind of computer science degree you have, you can start this 6-semester program. One thing that I would like to mention to finalize my little speech here is that we really have very good laboratories with a lot of very nice, computers and technical stuff. Like, for instance, here's this nice picture of our television studio. We have a makerspace. We in this applied approach, we not only work with the industry outside, but we have a lot of practical laboratories that you can use while studying, or even in the evening if you would like to do your own studies. So, which is pretty unique in the area. We have a cave, we have a TV studio, we have multimedia labs. So we're very well equipped, and this is also what our German students say when they evaluate their studies at our academy, that we are pretty well equipped. Yes, well, again, in the end, there is some information, some links to more information about our department, more information about Global Software Development Master Program, and of course, to some of our coordinators, Merete in the middle, me as the person responsible for the international relations, and the head of this study program, which is my colleague Rainer. Thank you. If you have questions, I guess now would be the time to ask them.
Now's also the time to download the presentation, the Global Software Development Program flyer. You can see that in the pod here, and a general flyer that lists all our study programs.
So well, on this note, I think once again, welcome to the Taiwanese students to apply for Fulda, a small but extremely beautiful and exciting city in the very heart of Germany. I would like to thank you very much for doing this online seminar with DAAD Taipei, and hope to have you back again soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks for having me.